Oh, shoot. That wasn't the way I wanted it. Man. Get around a minute. Alright, folks. I gotta be on here fast. This will be the fastest video probably in live. But I'm gonna let y'all listen to this. Breaking news. A dog dies being left in a car in Trussville, Alabama. It is getting ugly. They're not just leaving kids in the car now, they're leaving dogs in there, and you're not going to believe the law of the jungle on this. I guess the NWO jungle. Who knows? We're going to get going. Hope y'all had a good 4th of July. I know I did. I ate fish at Cracker Barrel. Alright, folks. Hope y'all enjoy.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Michael Clark in for Sherry Jackson this evening. We'll take you to some local 4th of July festivities in just a moment, but first, we are following developing news of a heat-related death in Trussville. CBS 42 News reporter Robert Sherman is live where a dog died today after being left in a hot car. And Robert, a Facebook video showing this incident has gone viral.
Yeah, good evening, Michael. Yeah, that video is creating a lot of outrage, and that outrage is aimed not just at the owner of this dog, but the laws pertaining to this incident as well. So here's what we know at this time. At about 4 o'clock in the morning, a woman in her mid-30s parked her car here at the Trussville Walmart, and at 11 a.m., some bystanders found the dog still in that same vehicle. They called for help and tried to intervene themselves, but to no avail. The Facebook video you're watching right now was sent to us by Stacy Guthrie. Here you see a coalition of bystanders and Trussville police trying to save this dog's life. The officers on site were not permitted to break the car's window until a supervisor arrived. That's one of the details of the story that's creating so much outrage. Now the supervisor did arrive, and they did get the dog out alive, but the dog passed away in the parking lot just a few minutes later. Now, our own Sarah Canty has told us that the temperatures that were here in Trussville earlier today, they were in the upper 80s. Those temperatures are very dangerous for an animal that's trapped inside of a car. So the big question a lot of people are asking is, what exactly is going to happen to this dog owner? Well, we spoke to a lieutenant at the Trussville Police Department, and we'll tell you what that lieutenant had to say tonight at 6 o'clock. In Trussville, Robert Sherman, CBS 42 News, local coverage you can count on.
So, wow. They're not even going to tell what happened to the dog. I mean, what happened to the owner. So, sounds like to me she's getting away with murder. Now, I did hear about a law about if you leave animals in the car, you don't even get in trouble. Really? What kind of law is that? I don't understand the United States no more. I really don't. I feel like we're in another country somewhere. But that's not all. We got news on the weather. Listen to this storm. This is crazy. A sand storm. We're calling it the Sandman hurricane that's coming from Africa and will be in the Gulf. Interesting, folks. And this is crazy. Florida, Alabama, Mississippi.
Hello, everybody. It is the 4th of July. The holiday is here. It is 3:28 p.m. Hello, everybody. It is the 4th of July. The holiday is here.
Current temperatures, as we always start with. Honestly, some of these parts of the country, I don't even think you need a lighter to light off some of these fireworks. They might just go off on their own. Still dealing with a massive heat wave all over the country, northeast in the 90s. This little 69 here is pretty interesting. That's probably up in the mountains. But we got a few things to talk about here, and it's just amazing because it just shows you how weather can break rules, weather can be explained one way and act another way, but here we go. So we have two pretty significant invests going on. This one we have talked about. This was off the coast of the Carolinas. We did have that little one here by Louisiana, but check out some of these percentages now, guys. This one was at 60, believe it or not, but now it is at 40% cyclone formation over 48 hours. This is being registered on all charts. And then our west coast of Africa, our warm water belt is now producing invest 30% chance in 48 hours. And what's very significant about this one is something we've been talking about for the last couple weeks now. And you can see it here too, that these charts are picking it up. 60% chance. You can see that this was the one that said 60%. Back here is the 40%. So we are back and forth, probably average in the middle, about 50% chance of cyclone formation. More than likely will not affect land as far as hitting land is what I want to say. It will affect the coast, absolutely, if it does form. This one here, though, this is actually forming in the exact area where all that sand that is coming from the west coast of Africa flowing right into the Leeward Islands that has now made it to Texas. So very interesting that we are seeing an invest form in the middle of a sand trail that is moving west to east, because a lot of people believe that the sand actually lowers hurricanes. Some people believe that it actually aids in the hurricanes. I'm in between. The bigger the particles, I believe, will weaken a hurricane or not allow it to form. But as these particles move through the air, they get more and more fine. They turn into more of a dust. Those are the ones that will allow storms to cling together. So, I mean, we have the info right here. This is the current sand that is coming off the Sahara Desert, moving all the way across the South Atlantic Ocean, all the way into the Leeward Islands, all the way through the Gulf and even Texas. And then if we backtrack once more, you can see that this invest is right in the middle of all that. So for theory that invest cannot form during a sand dune, that's out the window. They can certainly form. Now, what we need to watch out for is to see how much this thing will form. Now, as we're going to look at in a little bit, you see this thing move towards the Leeward Islands. It kind of dies down a little bit, but then as it gets right under Cuba, we see kind of an explosion of moisture. So I'm not sure yet if that's this same system that kind of weakens and then re-strengthens again underneath Cuba and then becomes an issue, but the Atlantic is definitely starting to act up, and I just find it funny that a lot of the mainstream media articles in the past 3 days have been talking about how we are going to expect a weak hurricane season this year, and then literally 2 days later we have invests going up all over the Atlantic Ocean. So that is just funny. You got to understand that you can't always trust the mainstream media, because sometimes they just want to put out information to, get people to not worry as much or not, have to go out and spend money and then prepare. But then the next thing you...
Come on, let's be honest with each other. The New World Order wants you dead. The multimedia, cable news wants you dead. They're not going to tell you until the last minute. We're the ones that's ahead of the damn game, and that's why we're on here.
No, we got a storm heading our way. Now, I want you to look at this invest that is at 30%. What we always look for are those shark fins, and we look for barrel rolls. And I don't know about you guys, but that thing looks like it's beginning to barrel roll right now. So what we need to do is keep an eye on this spot right here, because it is expected to weaken as it gets into this area right here. But then I'm going to show you on a chart that as it gets into this area, it begins to swirl up again. So not only do we have this invest here, which is at 20%, we have this invest up here also that is between 40 and 60%. So two Atlantic significant invests that we need to watch in the month of July, first week of July. And again, guys, remember, Hurricane Harvey was not until August. And then after that, it was 10 named storms in a row. So even for the mainstream media to be putting on...
Get this. August 21st, when Wormwood went across the sun. That's what happened. Okay? I know there's not going to be a lot of people on here. Maybe y'all can see it later. But remember, August 21st, that's when all the hurricanes started coming in. Well, it's going to be worse than that this year. Early, folks. Early. Might be after July 27th is what I'm finding out. It could start really getting higher. And it's gonna hit land. No doubt. They're gonna hit land. And that's why I'm on here giving you heads up.
articles saying that it could be a potential weak year, I think is not a good idea. It's way too early in the season to be predicting that it's going to be a weak hurricane season. Again, I know that may come off as me saying, "Oh, I want all these hurricanes." That's not how it works. What I'm trying to do is be logical about this and understand that even last year they said that it would be a semi-weak.
Me and Into Thin Air wants you to be prepared. He's not going to tell you, but I will. With all these hurricanes, they're using them hurricanes to take out the illegal immigrants, the poor, the blacks, the white, and Hispanic. If you're not rich, they're coming after you. I just want you to know that. I just want you to be ready. Remember Hurricane Katrina, the videos that I put on my YouTube channel.
Season, and then we had records broken all year long. So we cannot bank on that just yet. We have to go by the data, and what the data is showing right now is 2 invests in the Atlantic Ocean, 1 beginning to barrel roll towards the Leeward Islands, 1 is up by the Carolinas. That looks like it's going to kind of come up this way, and then the jet stream might give us a hand and push it out if it does form. Unfortunately, we do have a weather system that is going to affect the coasts of Louisiana and Texas, if not already. So, hey man, this is weather, guys. This is how it works. We cannot, it's almost unpredictable. That's why we do this on a daily basis. You need to look at the data every single day to watch for these little changes. Now, what I have pulled up for you here is a far-out view of basically the entire Caribbean. We got a lot of the Pacific, and we got a lot of the Atlantic to look at. And what do you guys see? I see a lot of moisture. I see a lot of reds and darks. And what that means is that these storms are beginning to cling together. So we're going to start from the beginning here. This is Hurricane Fabio, which is making its way out, which could potentially bring rain to Southern California. They're now saying that this thing is big enough and will last.
We're not worried about Fabio. He's nothing. He's not going nowhere. We're worried about Chris and Burrell. Burrell, Texas. Chris, South Carolina. Wait a minute, it's changed. It's going to be up north like Maine, Delaware, somewhere in there like Dover. Be careful over there, okay, folks? And there is some NASCAR news. 7 means July 7th. Could be September the 7th or August the 7th for the new NASCAR game. But the new name might be NASCAR Heat 3 Dirt to Daytona. Just thought you might want to know that. That's why they decided to do the Daytona, announce the game on Daytona. So just thought you might want to know that. People don't realize what's going on. I do. I played the old games. The first game was NASCAR Heat. The second one was NASCAR Heat 2. And then the third one wasn't even a NASCAR Heat 3. It was NASCAR Heat Dirt to Daytona. So I just thought you might want to know that. They may change it to 3 because of NASCAR. It's going to have Richard Petty, Dale Earnhardt, Dale Earnhardt Sr., and the other champion, Richard Petty. All 3 of them are going to be on the game. It's 777. Makes sense because it's July 7th. They're going to announce the game. I thought I would tell you that. I love every one of y'all. I hope you enjoyed the race. That's the best finish I've ever done in Iowa. I'm getting a lot better. I've got it on the hardest level. I don't play that garbage rookie crap. I like working on my cars and setting them up and everything. And looks like Brad Keselowski's team top 10. I'm happy with that. So I love you all. Y'all have a nice 4th of July. Thank you for the like. Whoever's on here, y'all have a nice day. Take care. Enro Radman, I like your stuff, man. Seriously. Thanks for subscribing.